Welcome back, everybody. It's another great day here today for the Fantasy Football Podcast. It's been a while. We never really had a conclusion to last season. Some turmoil happened. Some other things were misaligned. However, yours truly is back, your host, your provider of this, your inspiration, your author, your editor, your mastermind, commissioner, whatever you want to call me. I'm back. I'm back in action, and I'm ready to go. It's fantasy football time. And as always, we'd like to introduce some of our guests or reoccurring members of the podcast. It's been a while, but Mr. Plude, would you like to welcome yourself back to the fans?
Yeah, hey guys, long time no see. Was an original founding member of this podcast, so I hope you haven't forgot about me. My position was usurped by some people who some might call it a mutiny, some might call it a coup. But, moral of the story, I was no longer allowed to be on the podcast. I was called some names, some hurt, some I didn't understand. But now, all water under the bridge for a new season. And it's going to be great. Happy to be here, boys. And, I live in Texas now, so that's kind of cool.
Awesome. Appreciate it, Eric. We can dive into other things like you had discussed later on, but I appreciate you your induction. And a member, he was a full-time member last year, Mr. Kyle. Welcome back to the podcast.
Thank you. Football season's back. It's the best time of the year. I'm looking forward to it.
Appreciate that, Kyle. Your insight is valuable every year, and we look forward to it for the upcoming season. This is a guest. This is a reoccurring guest. He's come in once or twice before. Had a little bit of an issue last season that can be discussed on these open airwaves with plenty of Q&A that I have in my email box and Twitter feed ready to go. So, Hutch, introduce yourself, please.
Mm-hmm.
Already. Looks like he's ready to go. So that was Hutch, everybody.
Great Michelob Ultra plug right there, Hutch. I like that.
Yeah.
That was Hutch. For all those that didn't know, he was last year's biggest story, I would say, throughout the season. For one, he was undefeated. What, the 8th or 9th week in the season, I want to say, and around the Thanksgiving time frame or Christmas time frame is when shit really got down. Kyle or Eric, one of you kind of want to add to that?
I'll just put my 2 cents in. Not gonna lie, I blocked out a lot of what happened towards the end of last year, so I don't really have too much insight. But Kyle, you're a wise man. You want to walk us through, I guess, your insights or your perceived notions of what happened?
Yeah, I mean, I was commish, so I was cleaning up the pieces of the biggest meltdown I think I've ever been part of. It was Thanksgiving Day. I just wanted to go have a nice meal with my family, watch some football games, and I'm sitting there on my phone all day trying to pick up the pieces of Hutch's basically scrambled team because he got a little butthurt about something and decided that he didn't want to play anymore. So he dropped all his players, threw a little hissy fit, and now he's back. So I don't know. I'm not the commission anymore, so it's out of my hands now. It's on Kib now. So if it happens again, I don't have to deal with it. So
kind of sounds like it was like breaking up with a longtime girlfriend, and she didn't really like it. Is that kind of a good analogy, or?
Yeah, I mean, some could say that.
Wow. Well, you were right, Kyle. It was a weird Thanksgiving day. I was sleeping, and I woke up to a million text messages about something that I'd never thought would happen coming from the first place person in our league at the time. It was an interesting circumstance that could have been avoided, I guess, in terms of the whole leaving part. But I'll turn the floor over to you, Hutch. You want to give your final say to it? because we never got this on video. Your part on it on video.
Yeah, I mean, number one team in the league last year. Going into that Thanksgiving week, made a trade that might have been risky. I wanted to stand behind it, but I didn't want it that week. Kyle left. I feel like Kyle's the one that needs to stay in and hear this one. Kyle,
Seems like it was on purpose.
Kyle pushes my trade through, doesn't tell me, so I basically don't have a starting lineup going into the Thursday game. Ask him to why he did it, if he could undo it. Said there was a league meeting, and he decided to push it through with the league, which I wasn't a part of, so I don't know how it was the league meeting. It just seems like there's some teams in this league that are allowed to do well, and my team's not one of those teams. So there's that statement, and then Kyle said a couple things that really ticked me off. That's where I ended up quitting. He said, I think he said, it stinks because this is my only connection to Hutch when I'm out here in Arizona. I don't get to talk to him about anything else, and fantasy is my only connection to him. If fantasy is my only connection, why wouldn't you text me about the trade? That seems like a clear point that you can reach out to me if you want to talk to me. That makes a lot of sense to me. Secondly, he said he couldn't undo it. I proved that he could just by dropping all my players. He clearly made a change to my roster. So that's all there was to it. If he would have said, you know what, my bad, I messed up, probably should have talked to you a little bit about it, I would have been pissed, but I wouldn't have quit. I think it was just kind of, hey, we're going to screw you, and then pretend like, hey, it wasn't, we're not doing it type of thing, and that really pissed me off. So I made the mistake of taking the league seriously, thinking that it was honorable and competitive with an honor type of deal. And clearly that's not what it is. So going into
we could put money on it this year if we want to make it serious.
What's up?
Alrighty. Kyle, I'll turn the floor back over to you since most of those comments, probably 100% of those comments were directed right at you. So the floor is yours.
Thank you. First of all, if you don't want a trade to go through that week, you don't submit it in that week. Second of all, as with all year, if one of the members of the trade said, hey, Kyle, can you push this trade through before the game starts? I put a message in the group me, which the whole league is in, saying, you give me 4 votes, trade goes through. Good morning, pushed it through. Been doing it all year, not a surprise. Don't really see where the difference comes in.
Well, that's not true because, first of all, it has to be both owners. You made a rule, I think it was 5 people had to approve it. That's the majority. Then at that point,
no, I don't count, and you can't count the 2 owners. So 4 of them.
You get the 2 owners, and you can't count them. But if you only got 1 owner, you don't got 2 owners. So,
dude, if you don't want to make the trade, don't submit.
No message went out in the group me. What message went out in the group me?
You created 4 favorites.
Send out a message.
How do I get 4 favorites in a group me if their message wasn't in the group me?
You must have created one without me because I wasn't in that.
Okay, yeah.
I think we need to go back and look at the tapes. We need to go back, look at the message. I want a screenshot, and I want Kim to pull it up, share a screen.
This goes back to you said we had a league meeting, and you went through with it. I wasn't part of this league meeting, so how is it a league meeting?
I don't know what league meeting you're referring to. If the league meeting is I send a text, and I get 4 favorites, it goes through. That's it.
That's what he's.
Should you or should you not have reached out to me and been like, hey, we're going to push your trade through. You're not going to know about it unless you look at your team minutes before Thursday starts because I'm pushing it through right before the game's on Thursday. Should you or should you not?
You pushed. I figured you would check your lineup. Sorry, I thought we took this league seriously. Second of all,
you're assuming that on Thanksgiving,
you made
right after that, I'm going to check my lineup. That's what you're assuming?
You made. So why would you not be okay with it being pushed through? Why make a trade if you don't want it?
I wanted it. I made a trade earlier in the season, and it was a pain in the ass to get it pushed through early. So now I've learned, hey, you want to make a trade, make it 2 weeks ahead of time. That way when it goes through, and you don't have to fight everybody to get it approved.
But it got pushed through, so I don't see what the problem is.
It shouldn't have.
if you don't want it. I don't see why you would make a trade and then get it.
In 2 weeks. And I knew that it was a pain in the ass to get your trades pushed through. So instead of trying to fight everybody and get my trade pushed through, I just made it sooner. It was scheduled to go through at the time I wanted it to go through.
No, but that's not how it works. The trade takes 2 days regardless. So if you want it to go through that next week, just submit it on Monday. Guess what? It's going through on Wednesday. It's not that hard.
It was scheduled to go through in 2 weeks. It wasn't scheduled to get through. You had to put that through.
No, it's 2 days, dude. It's 2 days. The only reason it didn't go through is because you put it in Tuesday. And the only reason is because there were Thursday games because these are normal Thursday games. That's why it wouldn't have. Normally, in any other week, it would have gone through.
It wouldn't have gone through by Thursday, so it would have got pushed off to next week.
It only would have gone through by Thursday because there were earlier games. If it was a normal Thursday week, the trade would have gone through anyway. So you would have got that week anyway.
My players would have played. It would have locked them in my lineup, and that trade wouldn't have gone through until next week.
Because there were earlier games because of Thanksgiving.
I knew that. I made that trade knowing that.
No, you thought it took 2 weeks. So you obviously didn't know that because it takes 2 days.
If you make a trade and it doesn't have the timeline to go through before a player plays on your league, it gets sent into the next week, and you get that trade the next week. I literally made that trade and got it through knowing that it would get sent through the next week.
It was asked to be pushed through, which we've done all year.
First of all, Joe, when I talked to Joe, said he never reached out. So who reached out? Did you reach out to Joe to see if he wanted to get pushed through? Because that's right there. That seems a little far.
I got a text from Joe. He said, "Can we get pushed through?"
You wanted that trade to get pushed through. Somebody came to you, said you wanted that. They wanted that trade pushed through, or you had in your own mind that you wanted the trade to get pushed through sooner. So you contacted Joe.
Collusion? No fucking money involved? There's nothing involved here.
Why would you reach out to Joe? Why would you reach out to Joe?
I did it. Joe reached out to me. Do you think he would tell you if he reached out to me, though, when you asked him?
That's what I did when I was getting a trade pushed through. I contacted Eric and said, hey, I'm going to try to get this trade pushed through. I'm going to contact Kyle. And I included him.
You're the only one that gives a shit about the other person in the trade getting pushed through then.
I feel like everybody should be aware if the trade's going to get pushed through. How are you supposed to do Kyle, if I didn't check my lineup right before it, I would have never had a set lineup, and I didn't get to play anybody that I wanted to play because I had 2 seconds to review my lineup and be like, well, fuck, I guess this is what's going to happen.
Yeah, 2 seconds. I know I was on my way to my aunt's house, which would have been before.
Eric Ebron and Dak Prescott were playing the first game Thursday.
Yeah, and it was at least 2 hours before that first game.
No, it was a couple seconds because I remember the game was coming up, and I said I was going to check my lineup and see what's going on. Kyle, I remember this.
Then you may have checked your lineup 2 seconds before the game, but the trade went through at least at like 10 a.m.
How was I supposed to know?
I don't know if you want me to like run your team and set your lineup for you, but I can't do that.
I want you to know. I want you to notify me when you force a trade through that changes my team and like changes half my lineup that I set.
Trade goes through
ahead of time. I'm not gonna. We shouldn't sit here and argue about it, but you should have reached out. You said this was your only way of communicating with me or like keeping in touch with me, and then you don't reach out. That makes no sense.
First of all, I said that because you would just quit, and it was sarcastic. Second of all, money involved. I'm not here colluding against you. I don't know why you would fucking think that.
You reached out. Why would you reach out?
I had to. I didn't know I was supposed to run your team for you.
You're running Joe's for him, though.
Okay, yeah.
Alrighty. This doesn't seem like it's going to get settled here today. But the only thing I want to throw in here is I think I probably already addressed this on Hutch's end. Hutch, you were going to make the playoffs and be the #1 seed regardless of what happened that week because of you were further ahead in terms of wins than everybody else. Now, if you wanted to be undefeated, I understand that. Then it might have messed that part up. But the whole thinking if any of this trade would have made you lose that 1 week, it would not have affected you at all in terms of the playoffs. But integrity and all that, if that's really the question here, then I guess we can. There can be a little bit of that too. I don't know if that makes sense to you.
Yeah, the undefeated thing wasn't in it. It was more about the thing that I was taking this league seriously.
Okay.
Put my effort into it, and then to see that the league continually colludes against you to make sure that there's only a couple of teams in this league that can do well, and if anybody else is not doing well, they're going to collude against you to make you do poorly. Just really
like the Democratic Party.
It's year in, year out, continual. It's basically letting me know that if I'm going to do well, the league is going to try to do these little things to make me not do well. So I might as well not even try. That's what it was telling me.
Okay, I gotcha. How can we? Maybe that's a lot different. I don't really want to ask that question.
I'm not going to take the league seriously next year. I mean, I'm just going to have fun with it. I'm not going to put in effort.
Okay. Eric, anything you want to say before we get off this subject?
Other than I really hope we never talk about it again because it's water under the bridge. Do I think Hutch has a point? Yes, I do see where he's coming from. However, from an outsider's perspective, it seemed like a very rash decision and completely unnecessary. But it was an emotional reaction to, I guess, a mob, controlling certain parts of the league and creating a certain level of unfairness. So I can see that, but at the same time, I think it was kind of rash. So that being said, let's never talk about it again.
Alrighty, I agree. Water under the bridge, boys? Alrighty.
I don't really give a shit.
Yeah.
We'll go with silence as a yes. Alrighty. All right. So back to the issue at hand. Next season, screw last season. Who won? I forgot even who won last season. But that's anyways. That's yeah. So this next upcoming season, I am your winner, your commissioner.
I thought you forgot who won.
I remembered real quick. I forgot.
Classic.
I forgot that I remembered. So back to the real thing. So next season, obviously we probably want to keep it the same, regular standard scoring, right? I'm assuming. Obviously I don't want to talk for everybody here, but if we have objections to scoring, we have objections to other things that go on in terms of trading. How many?
Who's all going to be in the league this year? Did we decided that? Is that set in stone?
I think we have everybody.
We do. Oh, okay.
Actually, Hutch was the only question mark.
We need one more.
Last year?
The same for me last year, Kyle.
They just said Allen was in.
He's not in. That was a joke.
All right, that's fine then. Just make sure. I just want to make sure we got the 10 then.
We keeping Bobby in?
Yeah.
Yeah, he at least looks at his shit.
Yeah.
Is that a reference to Jonah?
It was shit, but he looked at it. You're definitely right. It was shit.
Alrighty. Yeah, so like I said, do we have any objections? Do we have any questions? Do we have anything about scoring, trading, lineups, playoffs, divisions?
I do think someone needs to take a look into like waiver wire pickups. There's no good system, but the system in place is a little messed up. I can't think of like a solution off the top of my head, but there's kind of a messed up scenario where if you're bad at the very beginning, like you're the worst team, you get to pick up a bunch of good players, and then later in the season, you're good.
Yeah.
Good. You have a chance to beat people when earlier people were just kicking your ass.
Does that make it more competitive though?
Then there's a strategy of drafting shittily on purpose and then just picking up the good players that start the league hot too. I mean,
you have the potential to ruin people's chances of making playoffs where people played you earlier in the season and got lucky because they played you earlier, and now you're just some powerhouse that no one can beat.
Isn't that part of the strategy of fantasy football though? Is playing those games, right? Like I understand like it's not all fair or there's not like a I don't know. Like it's not the most predictable game, but isn't that the whole idea of the kind of the bullshittery, the fun of it?
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah,
The only way you can do it. The only way you can do it is just once you pick up, you go to the end of the line.
Yeah. Well,
so you can sit 4-week priority.
I was thinking of doing like a
cap for how many you can pick up. You're saying something like that.
Cap, or you can do you can switch midway through the season between a inverse order of the standings, and then go into a switch off where you pick and then you go to the bottom of the list, switch off halfway between those, so that.
Why can't we just do it based on draft order? Like whoever drafted last gets the first waiver pickup, and then
That's how it's.
Yeah, that's what Kyle's saying.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, Eric. Like Eric said, I mean, that's part of the strategy. I mean, it's not easy to win every week, and when you do win, it hurts you later in the season because then you can't get players to back up to help your bench out if you need to. So that's just part of the strategy. That's why trading is also another element of the whole thing. So.
So basically, it's better to not come out hot right out of the gates.
No.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? You were like 9-0 before.
Yeah, well, not everybody was like me last year. I mean.
Well,
that happened to me the first season. I came out of the gate hot, and then I crumbled. But
yeah, because if you come out hot, you're not going to make any like significant pickups. Where these teams who are in the middle ground can make decent pickups, and middle and late ground can make decent pickups.
I would argue that's the strategy, though, because you have to kind of play.
That's what I was saying. It's better to not come out hot.
Yeah.
So what type of a system do you guys – I mean, is the same – are we trying to change this up? Is that what we're assuming we're figuring out here? Or
I can't think of a solution to it, because you don't want teams to just sit there with a shit team the rest of the season either. You want to make them interested and, make sure they keep trying. So
right.
I was just drawing attention to the minor issues of the league.
Oh. Kyle?
No, I don't. Yeah, I just don't really know how you do it. I like it because it's that competitive edge. I mean, it makes it more competitive. And I mean, if you strategy-wise say I'm gonna tank the first 2 games, I mean, I know there usually is, but there may not be like a stud that comes out in week 2, week 3 that you can just pick up and he's going to play good for the rest of the year. So there's a little luck with it too.
Oh yeah.
Also, Kid, I want to point out before we move on, I don't know if you knew this, ESPN changed their standard scoring to PPR. So when you say standard scoring, don't set standard scoring on ESPN. Now PPR. I assume you meant what we usually do, non-PPR.
That's what I meant, yeah. Okay. Well, I'll have to keep that in mind. Back, I guess, to that, do you want to stay with that? Do you want to do PPR? Do you want to do or do you want to do whatever the scoring was we have done in the past?
You can do like a half point per reception.
Half PPR?
Half PPR, yeah.
Why don't we just stick with what we have?
Okay.
Half PPR sucks. I played that last year. It sucks. It's stupid.
Okay.
Why?
You want to elaborate?
It's not worth it. Like, it doesn't set reception, like a running back who catches apart enough from like a guy who's just a ground and pound. Like, it doesn't make any difference in like the scoring, so it doesn't really value it.
Oh, in comparison to
that's not big enough for it to matter.
Yeah, and like when you do 1 point, like then other players get valued more based on their catches. But if it takes me 10 catches to get 5 points, it's not that much of a difference. I didn't find that it was like there was no different strategy involved.
Right. Yeah, that whole point I guess could really change it up if you did the whole point PPR thing. I'm okay with doing the normal scoring. The normal like we've done in the past because that's all I've actually really played. That's what I'm accustomed to. So I don't know.
Yeah. Technically, it is your decision, but
okay. Also, we'll go with. Is there a different trading thing? Do we want to like vote through the group me? Do we want to vote through the the actual website? Do you want to put a trade deadline? These are the type of questions I wanted to kind of get some insight on.
I think we should stop fucking with trades. Either say every trade that gets made gets pushed through right away, or every trade that gets made has to be weighed and has to, delayed.
Well,
Stop fucking with them.
the whole like, okay, then if you're
That takes the human element out of it completely, and then that takes the bullshit out of it. I agree with Hutch.
okay, so we want one or the other, either. But do you want to push through right away as soon as it's made, the trade's accepted on both ends, or do you want to push? Just let it play out the normal.
I'm saying you vote on it. If everybody, because there's always the bullshit trades that try to get pushed through. I'm looking at you, kid. Some BS trades getting made. So put it up to a league vote if it should be upheld or not, and if it's upheld, just push it through. Don't wait.
I think if you uphold it, it should go through automatically. Like if you get 5 votes or whatever, 4 to accept the trade, it should just go through.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay. I'm okay with that.
It will go through. Not that Kim needs to push it through. I'm saying it will automatically.
Yeah, we'll leave it normal, and if you want to vote, go ahead and vote. If you don't want to vote, then choice not to vote.
That works.
Okay, I agree. I like that.
So,
But you still can convince people to vote. There's nothing against convincing somebody to vote, right?
you're a master lobbyist, kid.
I don't get paid for doing this lobbying, though.
They call that collusion.
No. I like Hutch's term, lobbying. I like that better. No, collusion, there's an exchange of money, okay? There's never been a transaction exchange or paper trail that I've had.
2 different things in extraction, in exchange and paper trail.
Alrighty, so okay, I agree with that. We'll let that go, and we'll do the scoring the same. How about like waiver claims? Did you want to put a cap back to that? Do you want to put a cap on that? Do you want unlimited?
I want to step back a second and point out that over the pants HJs don't leave a paper trail. So
They leave a different type of trail.
Okay. All right. Anyways, so do you want to have a cap to the amount of transactions? I mean, that would hurt me personally if we did that, but
It's only going to hurt you, so.
I mean,
Does it matter though? Like, why does that matter? I feel like it doesn't really.
right. I mean, you see me do 15 transactions in a week, and you probably think I'm going crazy. More than anything.
We know you're crazy already. We know that.
I don't. Yeah. Let's not.
I don't think you shouldn't have a limit, because what if you've just got a shitty defense every week and you really need to just get a streamer and pick up a defense every week? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, good point.
I don't think you should be penalized because
I agree.
Okay. No limit to that. Divisions. How did we want to split up divisions? I forgot what they were last year.
Did we do north
and
south?
south.
North and south.
Okay.
Basically, like people at Purdue and people not at Purdue.
Yeah.
And Joe was in the Purdue one because he was in Indianapolis. That's what it
Can we do East and West this year?
You can do whatever you want. You just have to move the line like wherever it needs to get 5 people in there. Like,
yeah.
I thought for the North and South, actually, one of the people at Purdue had to be in the South Division because his bed, Andrew's bed, was faced south more than Matt's did. So, like, we just drew the line in the middle of their apartment, so it doesn't really matter.
You're right. Yeah. So yeah, we can do East and West this time, Eric, since like people aren't living together. That makes sense. Yeah, we'll do East and West, and it'll probably be different people in divisions. Should make it even a little bit more interesting.
Where's everybody at right now? You got Arizona, Texas, Illinois, Florida.
That's all over the map right there.
Louis, right?
And then Indiana and Chicago.
Should we do Indiana, Chicago versus the world, or like versus everyone else?
You have 5 people in there? Joe, Andrew, Matt, Mike, Robert. Yeah, you could do that.
Well, Bob's moving.
Wait, where's Bob?
Bob's moving down to Atlanta.
Oh shit!
So that works.
That works.
Okay, so then how do you want to do? obviously first place in your division is automatically going, right? Is that how do we want to do playoffs?
I'm gonna point this out. If you do that, that puts Kyle and us in the same league. That's 2 losses for you, Kyle. Do you want that?
Ooh, I like that. All right.
I can go 9-2 and make the playoffs. Or no.
I'm gonna write it down and see if Jax beats Kyle twice.
Not necessarily. I actually went through last year and made sure you played every team in your division twice. I don't know if Kib's going to put that kind of effort in.
Kyle, you have to remind me what your email is for Google Hangouts. You just have to remind me.
What?
All right. Okay, but back to the subject at hand. How do you want to do the playoffs, like seeding and who gets in? So
It's got to be the next best two. It's got to be the next best two. Don't do top 2 in each division. Because then you can penalize a good division over a shitty division.
okay, so you want automatically the winners of each division.
Yeah,
right?
the next best two.
And then after that, the
Usually
next.
how it usually ends up being the top 2 from each division, but just in case it doesn't,
Well, I mean,
I don't think you should penalize.
well, but then again, you'd be penalizing a whole division if you just did top 4 teams, because there technically could be 4 best teams could be in one division, right?
Yeah.
And divisions really wouldn't make
I mean, if
sense.
that happens, I don't know how. I don't think that actually could happen. Like, there's no chance that does happen, but I know what you're saying. But I think you should do like a real NFL playoff, right? Division winners and wild cards.
Yeah.
Okay. And just 4 teams, right? Like we normally do. 4 teams. 4 teams.
Yeah.
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 You want
I hate the game.
Do you want trading to happen during the playoffs or not, or cancel it all the way?
Cancel.
I would put the trade deadline the week before, like at the end of week 13, right? 14, yeah.
Okay, we can do that.
Monday of week 13, I guess.
Because there's 14, 15, 16. Yeah, 14, 15, 16, 17 are your playoffs. Okay.
You want to?
Is there any way that you can like limit the trades of like the bottom 2 teams or something like in the last couple of weeks because they know they're not gonna, fucking win, so they'll just
To help,
Yeah.
But Eric, that's where you would need to have the league and the 4 people in the playoffs, or that could make the playoffs, automatically veto the trade. You know what I mean?
You're
That's
getting-
where-
Right, unless it benefits one of those people though, Kib. Then you have one person off right there. Like
yeah, you're right.
Well, I hope
And there's 3
You would
people in the playoffs who are going to veto it.
yeah, and then you just hope like one more person in the league takes it seriously enough or has like a contention to make the playoffs and shuts it down because
yeah.
Well, I'll see if I can make a restriction to that, Eric. I don't know if I can. Kyle, I don't know if you remember if you could or not, but I can definitely look into that.
the only way you could do it would be to just move the trade deadline up, and that way it would be like 2 to 3 weeks before the playoffs, and teams wouldn't know.
Yeah.
That they were not
As
going to
week
make
11 or something like that.
it.
That'd
So, I don't know.
That'd be really difficult because second to last place team, if they move to third place, then like they're just like switching in. You couldn't set a trade amount on someone that keeps switching out of the second to last place. Like it would be way too confusing.
I also don't think it lets you do that.
Well, I mean, then that's where obviously the veto button can come into hand, or if it's like Julio Jones for like the 5th receiver on the Bengals, we can.
How often has the veto button been used the way it's supposed to be used in the last?
That's the problem. It never
I do
is.
It never
think
gets used properly. Like no, it's always either somewhat collusion or no one noticed and they didn't care.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why we've been using GroupMe, where it's like you send out a message and people just like the message, and then you that's how we've been doing it.
Yeah, but then problems like what you were just talking about for the last 20 minutes arise, and then we get there's miscommunication. That's definitely a gray area to fix. I don't know if there is a good solution, but it's definitely gray
The
area.
only way to fix that though is just fucking every trade that gets made is accepted, and then you get in the problem of sending players. But then I guess you can just tell those people to fuck off, and I don't know. Like then you can at least verbally cost them.
All right. Well, we'll definitely. But like you said, like I said, if it's something ridiculous, and we'll have a discussion about it. We'll probably have a podcast about it later on. It's like week 12, and somebody's want to trade, make a big trade. Well, we'll have to look into that.
All right. Here's a suggestion. Consolation bracket. Do you want to get the winner of the consolation bracket some type of prize?
I think you give 10th place some type of shitty punishment.
You can
Yeah,
do
something like that.
winner of the consolation. So like my other league, winner of the consolation bracket gets to pick where they draft next year. So it gives you incentive not to make those trades.
I like that.
I like that.
To try to win the consolation bracket so that next year you can actually,
I like that, honestly.
I like that too. Yeah.
So it puts more of an emphasis on going all the way through the playoffs, even if you didn't make the real playoffs.
Yeah, for next year.
Okay. So then that should be the next subject is winner of the main, winner of the consolation, loser of everything. Should there be 3 different prizes?
Well, I don't think the loser gets a prize per se.
Well, punishment or something. So what should those?
The winner should get cash. I mean, the winner of the league should get the money that we hope put into it.
Like, we should buy rings. Kip, you always joke that like get a ring. We should like pull the money. The buy-in should go towards a ring. Like not like a super nice ring, but like an actual ring.
Expensive.
I'm gonna look it up. I'll look it up right now.
Like nickel, like they just spray gold over it, and they're just
some bullshit ring, dude.
I don't know, dude. I think I take the cash.
Of course.
No,
I mean,
you should be
we should-
sweet bad.
how about this? You could do like, let's just say hypothetically here, not for real. Let's just say everybody had $5 buy-in, right?
That's a little soft, but okay.
That's soft. Yeah, we all make money here.
But $5, the last place winner puts an extra like $5 in, so they'd have to pay 10.
I got an $80 black Nightfall ceramic promise ring. $80.
Everyone
Now you're just making it sound.
can get that. Everyone puts in $10. You can get that.
We can all shop together here. Here we go.
Yeah, Eric.
It's a promise ring to never leave or quit the league.
Exactly. Look at these. Look at these things.
Are we loaded the rings over here?
That little ring.
Men's rings is what you typed in.
Dude, you gotta get the box, man. You gotta get like a big ass fucking thing on there for like make it look like a fucking championship ring, dude.
Just type. Yeah.
I'm gonna find like
Like this one, the Gucci Gato.
Like a fucking
250.
pinky ring, man. At the
No.
This one's sweet. $70 for the Silver Warrior. No, that's kind of gay. Never mind.
what is this?
Dude,
I found a
yeah.
$7.30 fantasy football champion ring. Eric, search
Men.
football champ ring. Fantasy
Okay.
football champ ring.
dude, I'm still waiting for Brooke to make the little painting of the fucking trophy.
So the first year she was supposed to be wearing like this, and I
$20. Look at this.
right there.
Yeah, there you go. $7.30 for those champ rings.
Look at this thing. Yeah, $20 right here. I'm in. I'll buy these for the winner.
Eric, I already bought myself one of those. No, but what I'm saying is, all right. But did what I say make sense, Eric? All right.
I feel like that's not that bad of, I came in last, I pay a little bit extra. Like, I don't know. I don't actually have any good ideas, but I don't know if that's like.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say if we're
I don't know.
playing, if we're playing for money, there can't be any shenanigans that go on.
No.
Let's be fair. There's gonna be shenanigans. Like we always have.
I'm not playing for money. I'm literally not playing for money because if there's shenanigans going on, I'm always on the losing end of those shenanigans.
Right. Yeah. Oh, I agree, Hutch. I agree. That's why there's a fine line. A little like you're walking on eggshells when it comes to that. It's like it's hard in today's day and age. It's hard to have like somebody to be the treasurer, right? I guess. I don't even know how you'd do that.
Like here's the thing. Well, no, I don't think that's not what you're talking about, though, right?
I'm talking about shenanigans in the league, like bad trades, collusion.
But Hutch, if you have payment, then it would make sense not to do that, right?
But no, because I mean, if you're far out of it, be like, hey, throw me my money back. I'll give you these players. Like you could obviously find ways to cheat the system. But I also, Hutch, I don't think we're gonna be playing for that much money that it's like, holy shit, I need this to be like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like if it's
We're playing for no money and we still do it. You think you put money in there, it's gonna do it. Like,
Right.
I don't know.
only
Like, you do $20. Like I will not trying to throw shenanigans out there, but like it's $20. Like I don't know. I don't think it's like that big.
it's not that much. It's like $180. Everyone puts in $20.
Yeah.
It's it's going to cost you 20.
$20 is still soft.
I know that's why, but I don't think we're going to fucking convince like people to pay more than that.
Why not?
Okay.
Because we got shenanigans in the league.
Okay, then what do you guys
Don't go in and buy the championship ring then and not play for money. Play for the ring.
That's what I'm saying. Get a ring. Maybe not one that says 2015 on it, Eric. But
I know. I would get it engraved. Come on.
Hey, I would need a 2014 and a 2017. I mean, if that were the case over here. So,
And you can get it engraved and put whatever you want on. You can put People's Champ. You can put Kiss My Ass. You can put whatever you want.
I am your champ. No, but what I'm saying here is, okay, then push aside the winner. Now, since we can't agree on that consolation winner, that was pretty cool. I like that idea with the whole you get to pick in your draft order position for that one. If you guys, Eric and Kyle, you like that one as well?
Could we do like last place in the league has to like host the draft party and we all go to someone's place for a weekend?
It could be hard to do though.
yeah, I'd have to like fly somewhere. Because
I mean,
it's not going to be me, so I'd probably have to fly to like Arizona or something like that.
Yeah, it'd be sweet. It'd be fun.
You'd have to just make sure the draft day was not like this year where we're not even have a draft day and we're 3 weeks before the season starts. You know what I mean? We have to have that draft day set like
We have to have a better commissioner.
when we get over Christmas. You know what I mean? Like when we're kind of most of us are in the same area, maybe we get together and set up a draft day and then ask the out of towners.
Right. Well, okay.
Works.
Yes, we've talked about that last year. We didn't even do it this year. Obviously, that still can be in discussion for next year as well. All right, back to the subject at hand. Last place person. Ideas other than hosting a draft party. Go.
I like throwing in a couple extra bucks. That's not a bad idea.
Does that mean we're playing for money then?
Yeah, I guess it does.
Eric, did you hear what my idea was, or did that cut out on you? What I said?
My laptop died when you were talking.
Yeah, it was like
know what you said.
it was like let's hypothetically if you're playing for like, let's say you're playing for $20.
Right.
That last place person then has to pitch in an additional $20 because they came in last place.
Okay, I mean that's not a bad idea. I feel like we can get something more. I don't know.
I've had worse ideas. I appreciate you saying that. It's not a bad idea.
You can do
That
something
idea.
like the winner gets to pick where last place drafts. You can do something like that too.
And the winner gets to pick where they draft.
Well, that's a little much. You won. You got a ring.
Like Madagascar.
Pick where this guy drafts. If he's last place, you're probably going to put him right next to you, so he makes all the bad picks, and you get a benefit from that. So.
Okay, I like that. The winner gets to pick where the last place person picks.
Are
Okay.
you talking like physically drafts or like their draft order?
Draft order.
Draft order.
Oh, I thought you were saying that you can like you tell them where to go. I was like, I'd fly Kip to like the middle of Africa with this.
You gotta go to the nearest ski bar. You gotta go to the nearest ski club and have your laptop out and draft.
What? They're paying for like international carrier settings, so like they're having their phone like way up.
You got a draft from like a Trump Tower or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, no, Eric. He said like pick in a position in the draft order.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the winner would get a
I
prize.
kind of like Eric's idea now. Send someone to like an outhouse at a gas station in Mexico or something like that.
There's something ridiculous.
Well, not in but like within their like city they're living in or within the state they're living in. Like, hey, like you like the champion do research of like a crappy place or somewhere, and they got to go there for the draft.
Yeah, I'd be, and then we all live. Yeah, you have to live like call in.
Yeah, that's not bad.
We gotta vet that a little bit. Nowhere dangerous. Don't be sending me
You'll be able to do a strip club either because if you have a video, they're obviously not gonna like if you're doing a video chat, they're not gonna let you be in a strip club. So like you can't do that shit.
Yeah,
Like,
that's true too.
Projects or something. Yeah, right. Those
on the street corner, like the hood.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So, all right. Now back to last place, since we never have come up with that. We keep putting punishments on last, but we've never given last. We're giving the champion the say to give last place a punishment.
You can't give the last place another punishment. Like I feel like.
Yeah.
Oh,
I feel that is the punishment for last place.
that is the final. Okay. Okay. That's good.
And then one of the perks of winning is that you get to dole out that punishment. But there could also be another perk to win. I don't know. That may be enough for some people.
Yeah. Okay.
I think.
Is a ring not enough for you, Kyle?
Are we doing the ring too?
I'm actually buying one of these right now. Just
If it's like
Nice.
you didn't even win, and you're buying one of them, Eric. I'll send. I'll send.
Eric, it's 5400 East Williams Boulevard, Arizona.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah, Eric. Kyle. Eric. You're probably.
I want some input. I want some input on these though. I got gold. We got gold, or we got silver.
Gold.
Silver.
Okay. Do we want a big football or like a mock NFL championship trophy in the middle? You know what I mean? Or there's a football as the other option.
Mock trophy.
All right. Do we want to have it engraved?
We don't even have like a real name for a league, so I would say no.
I mean, get it. Yeah, I guess that's true. You'd have to wait till the end.
You could get it engraved on your own if you wanted.
Yeah.
Hutch was already.
Anybody will, but maybe Hutch. Maybe you would.
Last season, Hutch was already like he was doing his own. He was like in the corner, like engraving his own. And
Yeah, that was mostly why I was pissed. I spent like $100 on get out of it.
All right. Okay. So first place person picks a spot. The last place person has to draft for the next year's draft. As on top of that, first place also gets a ring or some type of trophy. Is what we're a traveling trophy.
It's a ring. It's a ring.
Traveling ring is what we're going to be doing.
That means you get to keep it, and so Kib, you can finally do your bullshit where you have a couple things or whatever.
I have too many titles. I almost want to give them away. I'm at that point.
You only have two, bro. Like let's back off that for a second.
I do have too many. No, but and then winner of the consolation gets an incentive to pick where they want. Okay, I agree. I like all those, honestly.
Business right there.
I do.
Draft.
Unless you want an added value to it, you could do $20 on top of the ring.
No.
Okay.
I think I'll have to agree with Hutch on this one. There probably is too much collusion amongst us to play for money. As much as it pains me to say, as an avid gambler, it does fucking pain me to say, but there is collusion going on in this league. Let's not deny it.
As an avid gambler in last year's commish, it pains Kyle.
A lot of allegations have been thrown out that it's saying I have colluded. I haven't even. If you ask everybody in the league,
they would all say,
"Man, you fucking colluded the first year by far. You and Nick Tripp or whatever his name was. You were giving him some handies in the background so that he could take all his good players.
He dropped his players, and I just happened to pick them up. That's not collusion.
No, Mike dropped all his players that year. That's Mike did that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you and I have colluded before, kid. I'm sure.
Dude, are you kidding me? There's
proof, evidence.
Don't be nervous over there. All right. Any other subject? Oh, date. Date that we want to actually do this draft. Before that, how do you want to do the draft order?
Random drawing.
Random drawing. Okay.
Are we just gonna let ESPN do it now before the draft, or are we gonna do it on like a podcast?
Kind of a hat or something.
Yeah.
We need to get everybody together on Google Hangouts, and everybody needs to take the Wonderlic test simultaneously.
Yes.
And go off of draft order on who scores the best in the Wonderlic.
How do you do the Wonderlic?
Huh?
That's the
I think you can Google it online. Yeah.
Oh, you can do it online? Okay.
Yeah.
I've taken one. Like get it timed, and it gives you like the score right away when you're done.
That's cool. I can do that.
But the only thing though is it's the best score should get to pick where they draft, not the best score gets first place. Some people like to draft last.
Yeah.
So that you like make the
so if you're second, then you get to pick right after the first. Like if the first place person actually wanted like sixth pick, and then whoever got the second highest score gets to be. Oh, I want the first pick. No, I agree with that. They get to pick then where they want to go.
Okay, that's how you want to do it. That's not going to work. It's not going to work on the previous years. That's how you want to do it.
Yeah, it will.
No, because then how are you going to do the winner of the consolation bracket? And
they don't take the Wonderlic, and they get their spot set in stone.
They get their spot set right away.
Yeah, right away, and everybody else has got to then fill in around it.
Okay.
I mean, you can still do it, keep it the same way. They just don't take the test the next year.
Well, we got to find out something different than the Wonderlic test. Wonderlic test.
Yeah, watching that lake takes like 5 minutes. Like a test that only takes like 5 minutes or something like that.
I've done one before online. It's not like it's not a long thing.
Oh well, hey, that's a little cheating right there. Someone's already done one.
I did it like 5 years ago, and we would probably do the same one. And yes, I memorized all the answers and wrote them down.
If you were wondering.
Okay. So Wonderlic test probably a couple days before the actual draft to determine the order of the draft. Okay, I like that. Now
everyone's sitting at the same time for the first time, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's gonna be a nightmare to get 10 of us together on a Google Hangouts taking a Wonderlic test for the first time.
You'll have to share
every
your
time. That's just a legit nightmare.
Okay, well, we could.
I sacrificed all my life to the fantasy football league. If you wanted to do a Wonderlic test now, I would do it. Want to do it in 2 hours, I would do it. I don't know about you.
You're not everyone in the league. Like, there's still 10 of us. People are on 3 different time zones. Like,
I'm literally on a work call right now.
I'm joking because I got a bedtime and I got to make that bedtime. So
we could do it. I could do individual podcasts and just watch that person do their Wonderlic test. I could do that with each. I got plenty of time.
That's got collusion written.
So who's gonna watch you? Who's gonna watch you?
I'm gonna send out the podcast after, so it's gonna be live anyways. You know what I mean?
Like 6 takes of it, man. Like, all right, start over. You got all the answers now.
Hey guys, the Wonderlic test is a 12-minute, 50-question test used to assess the aptitude of a prospective employee for a range of occupations, i.e., fantasy football champion. All live-based questions is grammar and math. So 12 minutes, we could easily do a 12 minutes. We could all do 12 minutes together.
Did you say 50?
I'm gonna get last pick every year.
5-0.
I got
5-0.
5-0.
I'm gonna shoot for the consolation every other year now because I'm stuck in grammar and math.
I think.
All right,
I think next year we got to do the SAT. We got to schedule an SAT. Test taking time.
Well then, okay. Logistically, Kyle, then how would we want to do this?
The Wonderlic.
Yeah, the whole like making sure everybody does it the right way and they're not cheating and all that. How would be the best way to do that?
You have to get everyone on here at one time. But dude, like, let's be real. People are gonna fuck. They're gonna cheat. Like, you said we're gonna do a Wonderlic. I'm gonna do one next weekend.
Wait, you're saying we have to get a proctor?
I need a proctor. Like, let's be real.
We need an 11th.
Literally, I'm on a work call right now. I'm on a conference call. I'm talking about fantasy football. That's how much I care.
Good thing you didn't mute us. Okay, so alrighty. So that's not gonna work because people are gonna cheat. What's a easier test that is hard to cheat on that you can do online?
Not yet.
We could do a math quiz.
I'll take that.
You know, like multiple, like those multiplication tables. Remember, there's like 4 or 5 rows, and you quickly had. Remember, you had
The
to
math,
quickly.
or whatever those are called.
Like fourth grade type of stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could do that. I don't know how we.
Bad idea.
Okay, but what we need is we need a Google Hangout, and those little cards. You just need to have a deck of those cards. You just hold them up. First one to get it, they get that point, and you just keep going.
Oh, if Kip's judging that would be he would cheat.
Yeah, he would get all the fucking points. He's not even participating.
He'd say 69 every answer and get it right.
Well, hey, look, think about it though. That is one you could do because the test can be randomized, and you still can give the same test.
Hey, Steve, I'm on.
I feel like you're just – I hate to do this because it's like white girl, but I feel like you're just better off blind drawing. Like
We are. We probably are.
Yeah, no, 100% we are. This is for fun.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So all right,
–
back to square one. We'll just blind draw a couple days before the draft. Fine.
Yeah.
All right. Next question would be the actual date of these 2 occasions of when you would want to draw for the draft and when the draft would actually be. Let's look at. Let's look at the.
Well, the thing is, it's weekday, weekend. You know what I mean? Like what works better for everybody? Think weekday or weekend?
Both are. They're all good with me.
Yeah, I can get to.
No, Sundays are bad because you got Thrones. I got stuff. I got hangovers.
You got this week and next week of Thrones. We're not going to draft before then.
No.
If you're doing it in 3.
What about Labor Day?
In 3 weeks, I'm on nights, so that's a terrible time for me.
Like during the week or on the weekend as well?
During the week. So the weekend would work. I'm saying like during the week in 3 weeks, that's not a good time.
You'd want to draft closer to the start date. I think Labor Day weekend.
That's leading into Labor Day weekend.
Labor Day weekend is it's the Thursday after Labor Day is the first game of the season.
Yeah.
So like if we
I have to move Labor Day weekend. I'm moving to Jacksonville Labor Day weekend.
Damn, dude, that sucks. So wait a minute. So you start that next month on Tuesday the 5th?
I think I have that Tuesday off, so I start that Wednesday.
Do it Tuesday then.
If you guys want to do that.
Wait, is that before you start nights or after?
I'm nights August 28th through like 31st or something like that.
Oh, just that week.
Yeah. But then that weekend I moved to Jacksonville.
That right there.
Okay.
I think so too. And I think it tells a better story because you can more, I guess, like the decrease.
Can we mute
It
Eric?
shows like even like I don't know if it's coincidence or not, but like roughly when all the projects.
Okay, so.
So what about that Tuesday the 5th?
I mean,
That's as close as you can get.
But you can't do. You're saying there's no way you can do Wednesdays, Thursdays, or Fridays at all. Is what you're saying.
If you want to do it before my shift on midnights, I can do that. So if you want to do it before like 10:30.
Oh, at night?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
What time zone are you on?
easy.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're the latest one? Oh, I mean that doesn't. I'm this 7:30 for me, so that doesn't matter.
Dude, that's I mean, because if if Kyle's like the closest to like.
So we'll have to do it at like.
You have to do it like 8:30 or.
8:30. 8
your time's the earliest I could do, and I'd have to book home from work. But so 8:15 would be better.
Okay.
Just so I can get home.
Because it takes about.
Do we want to?
It takes about an hour.
Do we want to do it like that Tuesday of Labor Day, going into Labor Day weekend? So like September 4th or something.
5th.
5th. Yeah.
I'd do it. I'd rather do it like later because that'll have the last preseason games finished up. You'll know everything you need to know.
That's fine. I can do it the 5th.
Yeah, I mean that works for me. I mean, as long as everyone can do it, but I mean, we'll see.
I think Eric muted himself. Yeah, Yeah, dude. The 5th is fine. It's still we'll still make it at night. Anytime during that day is fine with you, right, Hutch? Or do you still need it late?
I should have that day off. If not, I'm on days. So that's 6:30 to like 2:30.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you're
6:30 to 2:30.
Okay, so maybe like let's look, if we're looking at Eastern time, we'll look at like a 8 o'clock at night type thing, 9 o'clock at night type thing, 9 o'clock at night type now. If Hutch is working days, then for that one day, then that works with you then, right?
As long as it's just maybe like before 8, because I won't be home from work. So
Right. Okay. At sometime after 8 o'clock Eastern time.
yeah, I would send that out immediately to get feedback, immediately to get feedback.
Okay, I'll let the people know. Also,
Make sure I have no one has anything.
And then just like Friday or Thursday before, just do the drawing that week before.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Like the 30th, August 30th, the 31st, whatever that is. Okay. Any other questions regarding the upcoming rules for the draft?
Not really a question, but I also heard that ESPN finally fixed the ridiculous rule where if your team's defense quarterback throws a pick 6, the team score no longer does.
Oh, good. Like or whatever.
Yeah, it's like, if that was like for whatever it is, like if there was 0-0 and your quarterback throws a pick 6, that defense would still have given up 0 points. But the point after will count against them still because that's their special teams. But you wouldn't have given up 6, you give up 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you give up.
That works.
So that's just another thing.
That works. That's good. All right. Any other questions, comments, concerns?
No.
All righty, Hutch. You good?
You gotta send this out to everybody because I guarantee no one's gonna want to listen to the latter 80% of this podcast.
Oh no.
Dude, this was long as fuck.
I know it was really long. It's probably one of our longer ones. But I'm
The
sending
first few minutes were all right, and then after that, it's like.
Well, when you two were going back and forth, that would have been where I would have stopped or skipped forward.
Yeah.
But we can. I'm gonna send it out regardless.
Okay. All right.
It's not like people actually watch these things, Such. It's like
I watched them every year last year, or every day.
Would you watch it? Would you watch if it was an hour and change?
Yeah, I did.
I'm pretty sure it's change.
God, yeah, I've lost track. All right, you guys good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we may have another one. I'm probably definitely gonna have one for the draft for the drawing the hack because you definitely need that one on video so people don't.
Yeah, I mean that's for sure.
All righty, boys. Good talk.
All right.
I feel like we got a lot of things accomplished.
Sounds good.
All right, and then
next time.
I can create the league, I guess, whenever. Right?
Well, yeah. I mean, before September 5th.
Yeah, I can create. That's what I mean. I can create it I can take tonight, tomorrow, whenever.
Yeah, as long as you just get everything in motion, though. And also, tell me if you're coming to Vegas by Sunday.
I know. Dude, it's just, I don't know. All right. Well, we'll figure it out. All right, boy.
All right.
Yeah.